Tonight's highlights. Royal gift or stolen gem? Calls for UK to return 500-carat Great Star of Africa diamond. North Korea declares itself a nuclear weapons state, in irreversible move. Tsunami warnings issued after 6.9 magnitude earthquake hits Taiwan. TikTok influencer passed away following skydiving accident in Toronto. Kim Kardashian shares the type of guy she wants to date next. Biden meets with families of Brittney Griner and Whelan at the White House. Royal gift or stolen gem? Calls for UK to return 500-carat Great Star of Africa diamond. Calls are growing in South Africa for Britain's royal family to return the world's largest known clear-cut diamond in the wake of Queen Elizabeth II's death. Known as the Great Star of Africa or Cullinan Eye, the diamond is cut from a larger gem that was mined in South Africa in 1905 and handed over to the British royal family by South Africa's colonial authorities. It is currently mounted on a royal scepter belonging to the Queen. Demands for the return of the Great Star of Africa and other diamonds, along with calls for repatriations, have intensified since the Queen's death. Many South Africans view Britain's acquisition of the jewels as illegitimate. According to the Royal Collection Trust, which oversees the royal collection of the British royal family, the Cullinan diamond was presented to King Edward VII, the British monarch at the time, in 1907, 2 years after its discovery in a private mine in South Africa's Old Transvaal province. It was sent to Osher of Amsterdam to be cleft in 1908, it added. Weighing around 3,106 carats in its natural form, the original diamond was the size of a human heart, the Royal Osher says. Supporting the British monarchy's claim to the precious stone, the Royal Osher explains that the gem was purchased by South Africa's Transvaal government, run by British rule, and presented to King Edward VII as a birthday gift. A University of South Africa professor of African politics, Evaristo Benhura, rejects this narrative. He told CNN that colonial transactions are illegitimate and immoral. Our narrative is that the whole Transvaal and Union of South Africa governments and the concomitant mining syndicates were illegal, Benhura said, arguing that receiving a stolen diamond does not exonerate the receiver. The Great Star is a blood diamond. The private, mining, company, the Transvaal government, and the British Empire were part of a larger network of coloniality. North Korea declares itself a nuclear weapons state, in irreversible move. North Korea has passed a new law declaring itself a nuclear weapons state in a move leader Kim Jong-un says is irreversible. Kim vowed the country would never give up its nuclear weapons and said there could be no negotiations on denuclearization as he hailed the passage of the law, North Korean state media reported Friday. The new law also enshrines Pyongyang's right to use preemptive nuclear strikes to protect itself, updating a previous stance under which it had said it would keep its weapons only until other countries denuclearized and would not use them preemptively against non-nuclear states. Nuclear weapons represent the dignity, body, and absolute power of the state, Kim said as he welcomed the decision by the country's rubber-stamped parliament, the Supreme People's Assembly, to pass the new law in a unanimous vote. The adoption of laws and regulations related to the national nuclear force policy is a remarkable event as it's our declaration that we legally acquired war deterrence as a means of national defense, Kim said. As long as nuclear weapons exist on Earth, and imperialism and the anti-North Korean maneuvers of the US and its followers remain, our road to strengthening our nuclear force will never end. The new law also bans the sharing of nuclear technology with other countries. Tsunami warnings issued after 6.9 magnitude earthquake hits Taiwan. Hazardous tsunami waves are possible along coastlines within a 300-kilometer, 186-mile radius of a 6.9 magnitude earthquake that hit southeastern Taiwan on Sunday, the United States Geological Survey has said. The quake hit the Chizong Township in rural southeastern Taiwan and had a depth of 10 kilometers. Japan's meteorological agency issued a tsunami warning for Miyako Island in the East China Sea, but the agency later removed the warning. Photos showed collapsed buildings in southern Taiwan following the powerful earthquake. The USGS initially registered it at 7.2, before downgrading it to 6.9. 3 people are trapped under the rubble of one building, the island's official central news agency, CNA, reported. A 4th person was rescued. About 20 passengers were evacuated after a train derailed in the area, but there were no casualties from the incident, the Taiwan Railway Administration said. Kolizio Taka, a former presidential spokeswoman who is running for local elections in Hualien County, said that damages were also reported at a local school. TikTok influencer passed away following skydiving accident in Toronto. A Canadian TikTok influencer died last week following a skydiving accident in Toronto, a friend who attended her funeral told CNN. Tanya Pardazi, 21, who went by the handle Philisato on TikTok, had more than 95,000 followers and 2 million likes on the app. Skydive Toronto said a skydiving student died August 27 after they succumbed to fatal injuries obtained from an emergency situation. The company did not identify the student, but Melody Osguli, a friend of Pardazi's for about a decade, told CNN by phone Saturday Pardazi was the student who died. Pardazi had recently begun taking classes with the skydiving company, noting it in her last TikTok post, made August 22. The skydiver released a quickly rotating main parachute at a low altitude without the time/altitude required for the reserve parachute to inflate, the company said in a release. The jumper was a welcomed recent addition to the skydiving community and will be missed amongst the students' new friends and fellow jumpers of Skydive Toronto Incorporated, the statement said. The team at Skydive Toronto Incorporated has been profoundly affected by this accident as they have refined their student training program for over 50 years. Kim Kardashian shares the type of guy she wants to date next. Biden meets with families of Brittney Griner and Whelan at the White House. Kim Kardashian appeared on The Late Late Show with James Corden on Wednesday, where she talked about her future dating plans after her breakup with Pete Davidson last month. Do you get set up by friends? Do you go on a dating app? Corden asked. How does Kim K get a date? I haven't really thought about it, because I'm not looking, Kardashian replied. I just want to chill for a minute. I think I need some time to myself and to focus, finish school, all that. But I think my next route I feel like I have to do something, like go to different places. Clearly it's not working, whatever I'm doing. So I don't know. Maybe, like, a hospital and meet a doctor. A law firm. She added that she wants her next boyfriend to be brainy. I think it's gonna be, like, scientist, neuroscientist, biochemist, doctor, attorney, Kardashian said. That's maybe what I envision in the future. Corden agreed, telling her, I like where your mind is at here. So if we ever see, like, paparazzi shots of, like, Kim Kardashian spotted at NASA, we'll be like, ah, she's back at it, he joked. After divorcing Kanye West, Kardashian had gone on to date Davidson. They broke up after 9 months together. President Joe Biden met separately with the families of Brittney Griner and Whelan at the White House on Friday, marking his first time personally meeting with them since their loved ones were detained in Russia. Biden reiterated his continued commitment to working through all available avenues to bring Brittney and Paul home safely, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said in a statement on Friday. The president appreciated the opportunity to learn more about Brittney and Paul from those who love them most, and acknowledged that every minute they are being held is a minute too long, Jean-Pierre said in the statement. Griner was detained in February for carrying vape cartridges containing cannabis oil in her luggage. The two-time U.S. Olympic basketball gold medalist pleaded guilty to drug charges and said she accidentally packed the drugs while in a hurry. She has been sentenced to 9 years, along with a fine of about $16,400. Her legal team in Russia has appealed the sentence. Whelan has been imprisoned in Russia for more than 3 years after being convicted on espionage charges that he vehemently denies. He was sentenced in June 2020 to 16 years in prison in a trial U.S. officials denounced as unfair. The Biden administration has repeatedly said that working to secure Griner and Whelan's release, as well as that of Americans wrongfully detained abroad, is a top priority. In late July, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced that the U.S. had put forward a substantial proposal to try to secure the release of Griner and Whelan. Sources told CNN that proposal included a swap for convicted arms dealer Victor Bout. All the best.